Okay, on 13.6 there's a reference to Pythagorean theorem, and a couple of you have asked for an example to it. So Pythagorean theorem you would have had in the previous math class, which was 74C. Pythagorean theorem is a theorem that is specifically refers to right triangles, and it states that if you have the sides, the legs A and B, and the hypotenuse C, that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So they're using that with factoring and trinomials. And so you can see that this would be a and this would be b. So if I slide that in, x squared plus x plus 7 squared is going to equal x plus 8 squared. So now that you know how to factor and to FOIL, then you can solve for x. So I have x squared. If I square x plus 7, I'm going to do that over here. You have to FOIL it, so x squared plus 7x plus another 7x plus 49. So you have x squared plus 14x. The 14 is coming from there being a 7x and a 7x, plus 49 equals, if I take x plus 8 and I square it, I would also have to FOIL it. So x squared plus 8x plus another 8x plus 64. So that's going to give me x squared plus 16x. The 16 is coming from 8 plus 8 plus 64. I'm going to rewrite this on the next page. So I have x squared plus x squared plus 14x plus 49 equals x squared plus 16x plus 64. So now if I want to know what x is, because this is a quadratic, I'm going to have to factor it. So I'm going to set it all equal to 0. So these two can combine and give me 2x squared plus 14x plus 49. I still have this side. I'm going to take my x squared and move it over to get rid of it on the right. And I'll have x squared, because 2x squared minus 1x squared, remember that's a 1, makes x squared, plus 14x plus 49. And on the right hand side I have 16x plus 64 left. So now I'm going to take my 16x and move it over. I have x squared minus 2x plus 49 equals 64. And now I'm going to take my 64 and move it over. And I have 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 15. And now I can factor it. So what times what makes negative 15 but adds to negative 2? That would be 5, that would be 5. Negative 5 and positive 3. If I set this one equal to 0, I would get x equals positive 5, or yeah, positive 5. So x minus 5 equals 0. That means x must be 5. If I set this one equal to 0, I'm going to get negative 3. So my two answers that make this equation true are 5 and negative 3. But in this situation, since I gave you a picture and you're talking about distance, let's go back to the picture. This one, this solution doesn't make sense in the context of the story because you can't have a negative 3 distance. So that means that the true answer must be 5. You can check it out because you know if this was x, let me see if I can remember this, x plus 7 and x plus 8. If I know that x is 5, then that would make this 7 plus 5 is 12, and this would be 5 plus 8 is 13. And I could take a calculator and see if 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared, and see if it really is the distance around the right triangle. So that's 25 plus 144, 169, and that would make 169. So I know that x must be 5.